Hi guys, my name is Ailey, the Irish Panda Queen, and today I'm talking to you about Athventurecon. So Athventurecon is a con that I went to in Loughrea in Galway. Dungeons and Dragons inspired con, which is amazing. So if you walk in, you see there's a lot of people playing games. I got to play a game myself. Then I got to interview some different vendors as well. And I would absolutely love you guys to check out all of these amazing people. Honestly, an absolutely incredible con, one of my favorites of 2025, and I definitely 100% really want to go back again.
Hi.
Hi, and what's your name?
Blaze.
And what is Adventurecon? Tell me.
Adventurecon is a TTRPG tabletop role-playing game convention. It's mainly focused on Dungeons and Dragons, but it does have other games available. There's loads of vendors, there's loads of really cool people. It's a really great time. The Athenry Adventurers run this event to raise proceeds for their youth club. So all the money from ticket sales and from like merchandise sales actually go to funding the club and funding trips for the young people and like getting new equipment and new materials so that we can keep the club running.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it's really good. And the club itself is really lovely. Like all the young people are really nice, the leaders are lovely. I'm actually one of the leaders myself, so I'm totally not biased in saying this, but it's great.
Are you looking forward to anything going on today?
I'm looking forward to the spelling bee because I'm going to be a part of it and it's going to be really interesting.
So what's the spelling bee? What's involved in that?
I honestly don't know. It's the first time that like it's ever been done at Athventurecon, so I don't know what it entails, but like I'm just assuming it's like a regular spelling bee but with like Dungeons and Dragons words, but like it could be anything.
There's obviously a lot of evening events after all the vendors are gone.
There is a raffle happening. It's going to be called at 9:00. There's also the Thieves Guild adventure happening, which is basically people are challenging each other for gems, and then whoever has the most gems at the end of the day wins.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so that's going to be really interesting because all the kids are doing it and there's a couple of adults doing it and it's really cool.
Hi guys, my name's Ailey, the Irish Panda Queen, and I'm here at Adventurecon with Charlotte, and this is her stall. It's really cute. I love this. I actually have bought nearly something from your stall at every con I've been to.
Thank you.
It's become a serious addiction.
That's dangerous.
It's quite dangerous, absolutely. So tell me, Charlotte, what is your artist name? What do you do?
My artist name's WindmillWolf, and I just draw every fandom I like and any original stuff that comes to mind. So,
and like, what is your favorite one? Do you think you have one?
oh, I don't have much favorites. I like most things I do, but I kind of love the warrior cats at the moment.
Ooh.
Because they're quite popular, and they're my own designs based on the characters in the book. So, kind of an original fan art, if you get me.
Yeah, like you've ranged from like fairy tale there. I see Stitch, like Disney. You have the Powerpuff Girls. I think is that Lethal Company?
Yes.
Lethal Company. Animal Crossing stickers there as well. Like it's absolutely incredible. Are you enjoying the con so far?
Yeah, it's a fantastic con.
Yeah,
There's always such a nice crowd, to be fair.
And have you been here before?
Yeah, I live a few minutes down the road. This is
Oh,
my
really?
local con.
Oh,
Yeah.
amazing. So you're probably like only delighted.
Yeah.
I don't have to travel so
Exactly.
far.
It saves on all the hotels in Dublin and all that.
Yeah, absolutely. And like it's so great to have a con here in Galway. Like,
Yeah,
it's absolutely
so
fantastic.
nice.
Yeah.
It's one of those like really nice ones, where you just kind of quite lovely crowd. So
Yeah. And what is your top selling one, do you know? From the last couple of cons?
the last couple of cons,
or even if you want to go fandom wise rather than specific.
Shadow the Hedgehog,
Really?
Warrior Cats, Lethal Company.
Wow.
Probably the top three at the moment.
Wow. And is it usually the stickers or is there a print?
There's
or...
prints of Lethal Company and
Oh, yeah,
Shadow the
look at
Hedgehog.
that there.
I think the Warriors one's more realistic somewhere, but it's a mix of all.
That's absolutely
There's
amazing.
nothing specific.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
changes by con, to be fair.
And what is your next con?
DCC
Okay.
in March and then Kaiser.
So you go to a lot of cons.
As much as I can try to get to.
Yeah, amazing. And if anyone wants to follow you on any social media, you have an Instagram?
Yeah, I have an Instagram.
Yeah.
It's WindmillWolf as well. It's easy enough to find.
And do you have an Etsy?
Not yet. I'm hoping to set up a shop, but nothing yet.
So if anyone wants to buy something from you, they have to. It's at a con.
Yeah, but,
Okay.
But I also do commissions. So.
Okay, you do commissions. Thank you so
No
much.
worries. Thank you so much.
What's your name?
Billy.
And what are you doing here, Billy?
I'm selling all my handmade beautiful leather dice accessories and like costume pieces.
And you say they're all handmade?
Yeah, so everything's made by me, so it's all handmade from natural leather.
Yeah, really? And
Yeah.
like, do you want process of that, or?
So obviously the first step is like designing the product, like working out how it's going to look and everything. Then looking what kind of leather I'm going to use for what product, and then it's just a matter of cutting out all the pieces and then stitching or riveting everything together to assemble it in the final product.
Yeah.
And then display it here for all the lovely people at Adventurecon to like see and hopefully buy.
And why Adventurecon?
I mean, Adventurecon is like my favorite con in Ireland. It's really nice. The atmosphere is great. All the people are lovely. So I moved back to Belgium, but I came, especially for Adventurecon back to Ireland. And I'll be here next year again because like it's become a tradition for me 3 years in a row. Because it's just amazing.
Once a year, isn't it?
Yeah, it's once a year. It's like every year, like January, February, like the beginning of the year. But if you're free next year, just come over. It's great.
And explain to me the Thieves Guild. What
Thieves Guild. Oh yeah, it's a little dice game I designed for this year. So it's basically everybody who's part of the Thieves Guild can try and steal gemstones from each other through a little dice game. And then whoever collected the most gems by the end of the day wins a special prize, which is like one of the leather products. I'm not gonna reveal which one yet, but it's always a nice prize.
And do you have a favorite part of Adventurecon or anything like that?
For me personally, the favorite part is just meeting up with all the other vendors who have become my friends over the years and just like catching up, like talking with everybody, having a good time, and then playing some games in the process as well.
That's awesome. And last question, do you have like a favorite piece?
My favorite piece would probably be the breastplate, because like that's the latest new thing that I made, because I want to get more into like the armor making, the costume kind of thing. And this is just like a beautiful piece, so I'm really proud of it.
What's your top selling thing?
Top selling thing would be either the dice bags that turn into a dice tray, so they're like 2 in 1, or the little keychains with the mini dice inside of them, because that way you always have a set of dice on you in case you need one.
And if someone wanted to buy one of these or check out your
Yeah, so I do have a website that you can order from. If you're in Belgium, then it's a little easier, but I do ship out throughout Ireland as well, like all of Europe. And next year at Adventurecon, you can always stop by my table to see it in person.
Will you come to any other cons in Ireland?
I don't think I'll be doing any others this year, just because the logistics of moving abroad with all this stuff is a little tricky.
So you're just specific to Adventurecon?
Just Adventurecon because it's the best.
I'm here with Tom, and we are with...
the Exiles Galway.
Do that again, sorry.
We're the Exiles Galway. We're a Hema group based in Galway, which is historical European martial arts.
And what is your goal today with, why here, why Adventurecon?
I'm very fond of Adventurecon for allowing a bit of alternative culture to thrive in a more rural part of Ireland. I'd have killed for something like this when I was growing up.
Me too.
Yeah.
Honestly.
And so I like to come here and show people that that interest in history or swords, and whether it's through fantasy or history really, is that there's actually somewhere you can learn sword fighting.
Yeah.
In a relatively safe environment. So we have been training now for, I think I've been at this about 12 years. And what the idea is there's certain eras of history where manuals were left behind by famous swordsmen, and we are trying to study those manuals and see how they did that back in the time. And then we're using a bit of kind of frog DNA with modern martial arts to learn sword fighting again. So Olympic fencing is obviously a thing, we know that happens, but that's what this evolved from. So we're at an end point where it's a sport now, it's not really of a martial context. We're trying to get back to this, was like, how did this actually work on the battlefield? How did this work in a duel? So the reason I like to be here is because everyone here really, I'd assume, has an interest in swords. There's a lot of people playing D&D, there's a lot of different weaponry. So I like to bring the weapons as a bit of show and tell, as a bit of the, okay, this is how it behaves in D&D, but this is how it behaves in real life. Because it's often they don't match up. I've got a mail hawberk over there, which, if anyone thinks that mail is light armour, mail is not light.
No, it's very heavy.
So it's little things like that, changing perceptions about how weapons worked, how they were used. So it's partially historical study, it's partially a martial art. And I like to be here as well as to show people that you can do this, that there are clubs around you that are teaching this, and it's usually a very warm and welcoming atmosphere. And it's not something you need to be a big, strong dude to do. It's a sword. They're actually quite a delicate instrument. Yeah. Fighting's a big part of it, wrestling's a big part of it, but anyone can use a sword. It's not limited to just big, strong dudes.
Yeah, and it's really cool. Like I just saw earlier, like I got like snippets of it, but you were showing self-defense, and it's a great way. Like you were showing like with the dagger self-defense, but like in the event of like somebody being attacked, anywhere. Like they have that skill, that self-defense to defend themselves from like the dagger or whatever that you showed
This
earlier.
is it. I'm always very keen to tell people what we teach is dagger. It's not knife. Knives are a different thing, and they are terrifying.
Yeah.
But what we do teach is some basic self-defense. Yes.
Yeah.
And it's learning just basically how to occupy your own space, how threat perceptions, de-escalation, and then if you are grabbed, how to break grips, how to wrestle. So yeah. That's the more modern applications to it. We are using modern martial arts. We're just using it to kind of reverse engineer some historical martial arts. So yeah, when you come to learn anything from us, you will be learning how to grapple, you will be learning how to throw, punch, kick, all the rest. So we do teach basic martial arts as well.
And what type of martial arts is it? Like, do you stem from? Is it karate or like?
My background was mostly Wing Chun, funnily enough, and so is Diego. Diego's a Wing Chun instructor over there. But honestly, there's a mixture. There's people who've done karate. There's people who've done BJJ and MMA. It's usually people who've done martial arts before and have found something like adjacent to it.
Yeah.
And are like, okay, well, how does this work with weapons? How do we apply this?
Yeah.
So a lot of us in it have a traditional martial arts background, but we're very much that's not a requirement for entry.
Yeah,
that's,
of course.
That's a requirement for developing it and understanding it and driving it in new directions. But for someone who's never thrown a punch before in their life, they can still come and learn from us.
That's absolutely fantastic. Like, because you said like it's for everyone, so anyone could learn. Like, you know, and like especially like today, I know I don't want to bring the mood down a bit, but like women would absolutely love that. You know, and it, like you said, it's open for women. It's open for anyone. Anyone who like it's a safe space, literally, for people to go and like work on themselves. Find other people that are similar to them and like
absolutely,
you know, build
and
friendships.
I'm very glad you brought that up because unfortunately our club can't run one this year. We're otherwise engaged, but we usually run an event for International Women's Day. We've ran one the last few years where basically we have female instructors and it's women-only classes. Just to give everyone a taster session, just to get over that barrier of nervousness of thinking, am I going to walk into a room full of macho guys like throwing it and rolling each other around, who are then going to be, you know, condescending? No, it's just like, no, right, women only space to come and try this. Now we usually run it. Helen's actually running it this year as she's coordinating the events, but there's events in Dublin and Belfast this year. I can't remember if Cork's doing one, but it's basically we do try every year to do an International Women's Day event to encourage women into martial arts.
That's incredible. That's absolutely amazing, and it's good to hear about that kind of stuff. So that's why like I'm doing a lot of these interviews with different people, so like I can tell people about this who might not even know about it at all. And you said like Hema is not just Galway, it's in all
it's around the country.
It's all around the country.
There's a good few clubs in Dublin, obviously. Wexford, Cork, Belfast and ourselves. There used to be one in Leitrim. I don't think they're up and running anymore. But there's quite a lot of clubs scattered around the country.
And ye do a lot of you have like a lot of different swords here as well, and then what is this called?
This is a poleaxe
and
or an azza.
Do you actually teach people how to use that?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. No, not with this one. This one's sharp, so we don't swing this one at anyone else. But no, we do teach pole weapons as well. The great thing with Fiore's art is it's all one system. So what you learn with the dagger or the sword, you need to know to use this. You're basically doing the same thing again. So it's not like you're learning a whole different series of weapons. You're learning one fighting system that then applies to all the different weapons.
Oh, okay.
So we just focus the late 14th to early 15th.
Yeah.
So we're using replica long swords like this one over here.
And what got you into this?
I've always done martial arts.
Yeah.
Probably I was about 13 or 14 when I started doing martial arts.
Yeah.
But then partially a love of history and fantasy.
Yeah.
Like, to be honest with you, I've made most of my life decisions trying to be Aragon.
I was going to say, who is your like inspiration? Like, there must be some swordsman that like inspired Aragon. Yeah,
pretty much. Yeah. So it was just that. Yeah, I was a huge Lord of the Rings fan. I'd always liked swords and fantasy, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I'd been doing martial arts for a long time, and then I saw that there was historically European martial arts as a thing.
Yeah.
So I started training then, and I've been at this about 12 years now.
And if someone wants to find out more about this, or if they want to even sign up for classes or something like that in their local area, where do we go? What happens?
Hema Island.
Yeah.
I can't remember if it's .ie or .com off the top of my head, but if you Google Hema Island, that's the main governing body's website, and all the different clubs around the country who are registered under Hema Island will be on there. You'll be able to find contact details for the clubs on them.
And there's probably social medias as well, Instagram
that's
and all
it. Most
of
of
that,
us, I keep meaning to set up our Instagram.
Okay, so they don't have an Instagram yet,
Yes.
but when they do, I'll put it in the description of the video.
But I'm terrible at managing that.
No, you're all good. So do you have a Facebook?
We do. We're on.
Okay,
we have a Facebook. But best thing to do is just contact us at hemagalway@gmail.com.
Amazing.
And that's us. That's for the Exiles Galway now.
Fantastic.
Anyone else, redirect your questions to Hema Island, and someone there will pick it up.
Thank you very much.
No bother.
Oh no,
Pleasure
like
talking to
honestly,
you.
that was amazing. I've talked quite a lot about Dungeons and Naggins on whether it's my social media, in my live streams, and I'm finally here with the guy.
Hello,
Steve.
I'm Steve, I'm Dungeons and Naggins.
Steve here has been at nearly every single con that I've been at in the last while, and I've been dying to get an interview with him, and look, here we are.
Here I am.
Here we are. And then the last con I was at akumakon, I was actually doing a panel of Dungeons and Naggins.
So we have a live show version of Dungeons and Naggins. We do it at events and stuff sometimes. Usually it's the third Thursday of the month in Mob Theatre Dublin in Wigwam.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
So,
yeah,
like,
yeah.
it's definitely something that people can, like, see, oh, that's coming up, I can attend
Yeah,
that.
for
That's
sure,
really
yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
And they can find that on the Instagram, I
That's
assume.
always on through the Instagram, the link tree. It's always nearby. Yeah, the next show coming up, there'll be some ticket link there.
And explain to me, what is Dungeons and Naggins?
So as a board game, Dungeons and Naggins is an Irish comedy co-op dungeon crawler. And in simple terms, it means it's kind of like D&D, but it's been crushed down to 30 minutes of a really simple rules game. Roll high good, roll low bad. The drinking game rules are optional. So it's ideal if you play D&D and you have like a coward of a friend who won't commit to like spending a couple of hours playing something. You can try this with them because it only takes 30 minutes and it's super simple. It's very non-committal. You don't have to be a goblin or a dragon or whatever they're afraid of. And so it's an entry-level gateway drug for cowards.
Love that. To put that on your website.
Since the original concept of whatever this has always been to make the game super simple and easy for people who don't really play games. So I've always kind of had a bit of an outsider perspective on this kind of thing, and it's nice to see people who have said, oh, I was really intimidated by all the D&D stuff, just find this quite easy.
Yeah.
Like, so if you grab one of those yellow cards right there, that's a character sheet. So
Okay.
like just
Muck Savage.
so what's on there, you've got 4 stats at the bottom of it. You've got strength, dexterity, intelligence, and crack. And that's it. You know, that's all you need for the game.
Awesome. And you incorporate a lot of Irish humour into this.
For sure. Yeah,
Yeah,
there's a huge
so-
amount of Irish crack in it, yeah.
So explain a little bit about it. So, like, what kind of things would people expect to see when you, like, with the Irishness?
For sure. If you grab
Yeah.
that first red card right there, that's Margaret Thatcher. You fight Thatcher, you fight Cromwell. There's all sorts of Irish encounters, like, for example, here's my friend. Do you know my friend? This is for people who've been living in America who have someone come over to them and ask, do you know my friend? If you roll high enough, then that is, or this is a Naggin Lord D20 card. So if you roll a certain way, you do know them. That's your cousin. And if you roll another certain way, then you get items because you don't know them and you've proved that person wrong. There's crabs in a bucket where you have to try and roll and get away, but other people are trying to like drag you down. You have to fight wild priests. You have to fight bog. There's all sorts of stuff in there. You can be Paddy Lotzie the Pint Man. You can use a chicken fillet roll. You can do all sorts of stuff. There's a flat 7-up card there where you get 7 health back. There's all sorts of Irish stuff in it. Yeah, so it's that's a huge theme of it, is Irishness.
And you
Irish
said
crap.
like it's pretty much for everyone.
Yeah,
Obviously,
for sure. I mean, well, no babies. Okay?
No babies,
But
okay,
it's for grown-ups. It's a game for grown-ups.
No cowards. All cowards. Oh no, only
All
cowards.
no babies.
And since we just brushed on the live shows, so explain to me the live shows. Like, what happens at them? What do people expect?
So at a live show, you're going to get 2 or 3 comedians or funny guests on stage. They're going to go on an adventure. The whole thing's going to take about 55 minutes, maybe an hour if I've lost track of time a little bit. Audience members can volunteer to get involved by drawing pictures of what's happening. They can voice characters. So I give people... So we played a Pokemon game recently.
Yes.
And that's where the concept of audience NPC dialogue came from, because you can give Nurse Joy 3 lines, and it kind of makes sense that after you click to talk to Nurse Joy again, she just says one of the 3 things that you've already talked to her about. But I actually figured out that works for every single NPC you can ever put in a game. So if you come along to one of the live shows, just pop your hand up at some point and I'll hand you a little piece of paper. the players on stage can ask you whatever you want, but you can only reply with those 3 things. And the audience members also roll dice and take part in Little Goblin Fella games, which are in the Pokemon game. We played Fuck, Marry, Kill with Pokemon. Audience members had to write down their preferences, and then our gamers on stage had to guess what they wrote, which is a game called Guess the Same, which is, that one can hurt relationships sometimes. We have that in the new games. You have to guess someone's favorite day of the week, guess their favorite food, guess their favorite time of the year or whatever, and then they write down their answers and you've got to discuss and guess what they said. And I've seen people get super offended. How did you not know about spaghetti?
That's great, sweetie. I couldn't get over that line. So I was in the Pokemon one, obviously, and that one was really, really fun. The Spotify link I'm going to drop actually when it comes out in the description of the video. So that's going to be fun. So if you guys want to check that out, it was really fun. I was with Apollo and Maku, but I just couldn't we were asking her serious questions, and all we got was, "That's great, sweetie."
Yeah. So you, at the beginning of the game, you were 3 10-year-olds sleeping in 3 little bunk beds, and you turned 10 that day, so you're ready to leave the house. And your mother, 1/3 of her dialogue was, "That's nice, sweetie." So not many questions were answered before you had to go out there and do dog fighting.
And if someone wants to get their hands on Dungeons and Naggins, or wants to get themselves to a live show, where do we go? What do we do?
It's all on dungeonsandnaggins.com, but if you type Dungeons and Naggins into whatever, you'll probably find me there. Yeah. And there'll be some kind of a link that gets you to all of this stuff. You can get the game online, and pretty soon is going to be the expansion Kickstarter. So this is called the expansion packet. My favorite thing about it is that it's going to fit together so that the little guy sits at the bar like this. Oh. Even though he's in his own little green dimension, the line is going to go along for the bar. He's going to sit there with his new mates. And this brings it up to 8 players. So at the moment it's for 2 to 6 players. This is going to make it 8 players, adds in a bunch more cards and extra fun stuff. And in about a year or 2, I'm going to do an orange one that goes here. So he'll sit at the bar as well, and everything's going to look like a little Irish flag. Yeah. Right? Fun. That's a bit, so cool. Yeah, all the mechanics and stuff, but you've seen all that. I've talked about that for ages. This bit's fun, right?
Yeah, this is great. This is great fun.
Podcast happens as well. The podcast is just the live shows recorded.
Yeah.
So that's been all of season 3 pretty much. Because I think I don't know, the live shows are just so much fun. I just wanted to capture them and kind of keep them and give people who miss them a chance to see them.
Yeah.
And everything's gotten a lot more themed. So like we were saying about Pokemon and God, what was the last one we did?
It was wrestlers that I listened to.
Wrestling, wrestling was
so
a really good one.
Yeah.
We've done kind of like space cowboys and there's been loads with Halloween and Christmas themed episodes. There's been loads and loads and loads of themes. Yeah, I like them a lot.
I look forward to listening to more of them. People want to play Dungeons and Naggins with you. Where do we go?
I'm going to be at Dublin Comic Con.
You're going to be at Dublin Comic Con?
Yeah. I'm going to be at Dublin Comic Con. That's only just recently been. This is an exclusive. Exclusive. There's going to be at Dublin Comic Con at the IMERT table, the Irish Gaming Association. So drop by. You can try the game or just flip through all the cards and take a look at everything. You can buy one. And if you buy the game from me at a live event, you roll the big D20 on the merch table, where you can win anything from a tote bag for a natural 20 to a twig for a natural 1.
That's incredible. And do you have any other cons following Dublin Comic Con, or any other events where people can play this with you?
I can't remember.
That's okay. They're all up here on the screen right now.
Or they might not be. Maybe I'm tired after doing those ones. Just put totally blank.
No space. Empty. Error 4.
Here's everything I'm doing this summer. The big thing would be that the Kickstarter is going to be in the middle of April.
Okay.
So that's why there is a kind of a hole in my head for what I'm doing at some point.
No, that's understandable.
So we've got Comic-Con in the middle of March, and then middle of April is the Kickstarter.
Can't wait for that. Very excited. Get yourself onto Kickstarter to help with that. That's really fucking cool.
There's a button you can hit now that's like the button that's like there's like a preview page live, and if you click that, it's like notify me when this thing goes live, and that helps me feel relaxed because I can count the people that are like they'll probably be there. They'll probably get one.
That's fun.
Yeah. So click that. That makes me feel relaxed.
Yeah, make him feel relaxed, guys. He's going through a lot. Just put this man at ease. All right, thank you so much, Steve.
Cheers. You like that?
That was great. I'm here with Jim from Hearthfire Tales. Tell me, Jim.
Ahoy there.
Ahoy there. Hi.
Yeah. Apparently this is a nautical themed interview, yes.
And what are you doing here today?
Nothing. No.
Okay, fair. All right, we're time to go. Time to.
We are here pushing our podcast, Hearthfire Tales, where we adventure in a land of might, magic, and metal. So no, we are a Irish actual play podcast. We're kind of I believe the genre is referred to as dramedy.
Okay, I've never heard that before.
Yes.
So explain dramedy.
So dramedy is basically we're like kind of early MCU vibes where they hadn't jumped the shark quite yet. It's kind of humorous, like it's kind of a comedy podcast until it isn't, if you know what I mean. So it's very funny episode to episode, but at the end of arcs things start getting serious. We've been told we make people cry as much as they laugh. I don't know if they do much of either, but
you're making people feel stuff.
That's it,
a good thing.
And that's what you're meant to do with these things. Now the campaign we run is very fun. It's set in a world where monsters don't exist yet, but they're starting to, and everyone is like, yo, what's the deal with these monsters? But everything is kind of themed around music to a degree. So like, this is one of the player characters, Sid, is based around kind of like the pop punk movement. We've got Con is dad rock. We've got Bren is kind of the British pop scene. So like a lot of the NPCs and stuff in it are like Stormzy, just fully fucking Stormzy the weather wizard, you know? So like, it's where we've got Johnny Cash as a wandering merchant. We've got like all sorts of nonsense. Dragon Force are a bunch of dragons. It's really fun. People seem to enjoy it. The episodes are, you know, commuter length, 40 minutes to an hour. You'd listen to them on the bus.
And are they on like YouTube or Spotify or whatever?
We are wherever you get your podcasts. They're up on YouTube. Our YouTube is kind of the holding area for content that we don't push. But yeah, no, you can get them Spotify, iTunes, Apple Music, Amazon. I'm looking at my poster to see where else. Wherever you get your podcast. We also occasionally live stream campaigns. So we did one recently. That was the Wizard of Wild Space, which is like basically the Wizard of Oz in space. For the first 3 episodes, and then we diverged from that so quickly.
Yeah,
as is the way with
watching
D&D.
it though. It was really, really funny. Like I watched a good bit of it when it was live. I genuinely is really, really funny. Like the way you guys get into your characters, and all of you are all like really, really good at like improvising and then obviously impersonating and you know like accents and everything. Very good.
It's well, I don't know if we've ever been described as good, so I'll take that and run.
Okay, maybe I should dial it back a bit.
But yeah, no, it's very fun. It's such an interesting medium for that kind of thing. Like, and it provides you with a way to kind of tell stories that nothing else really does. You know, and the fact that it's just collaborative storytelling, that you're all existing in this shared imaginative space. You know, it's something really magical, and you get to do dumb accents. So yeah. It's fun. We're doing a live show today, which is going to be fully improvised. We're going to have the con generate our characters. We're going to ad-lib the actual adventure at the start of the game.
Yeah, so in my head I've gone to like elocution classes, of course, to get the newscaster voice of, I'm here on the stage beside Montrose and Donnybrook reporting for my owner, Lord Flexology.
Hugo, hey, I'm so charmingly befuddled.
The class you're playing is a barbarian.
I'm so charmingly enraged. And we're going to find out who we are and what we're doing on stage, which is always like it's kind of improv to its core, but it's really like it leads to some insane situations, you know, which is really, really fun. So I think that's what I'm most looking forward to here at the con today.
So what's the purpose of the stall here today?
So basically we found recently that people actually quite like the artwork and stuff that we have for the pod. So we sell merch. We have like prints of the party, prints of the characters, stickers, badges. We're looking at, always be hustling and all that.
Yeah.
We're looking at doing hats, you know. We're going to be having them for sale soon enough. So yeah, it's basically just people really like the podcast, and we find at conventions they're always it's going to sound real full of ourselves, but oftentimes at adventures we get asked to sign things, and it's always like, oh, you sign, and we're like, we don't have anything for you to sign. So we just got these that like if people come up and they like con, I can sign a print of my character as opposed to like, oh, I'll sign your bag strap of stuff that we had been doing, you know, which still boggles my mind that people want a signature from just 3 weirdos doing a D&D podcast in Ireland. Like, we were at another convention once, and like a kid came up and he was like, oh, I really, really liked Con in this episode. And first off, I was like, you should not be listening to this podcast. You are far too young. And then secondly, I was like, that's really cool. I've created a character that this kid is now looking on like I would have characters in cartoons and stuff when I was a kid, you know. And we live in a time where kids can just like D&D characters from actual plays, you know. It's all crazy and it's insane that this is what we're doing, but you know, long may it last.
True, absolutely, and best of luck to you all. One last question though.
Yes.
So if people wanted to check out some of these prints online,
I actually don't think you can get our print online, but we do have a lot of clothing merch online. I should put the prints online.
like a signed print from all of you guys, you know, that'd be cute.
Stuff, like,
send for 500 quid.
Yeah, just message us on Instagram. Yeah, we do Revolut. We do have a merch store. It's got lots of t-shirts, badges, you know, all the usual kind of merch. We have a website, heartfiretales.com. Just Google us. We nailed the SEOs and we have the whole front page of Google. So
amazing.
Yeah. We even edged out that Skyrim expansion that's called Hearthfire, and that's a point of pride.
That's pretty good.
I know
that's
it's
pretty
8 years
good.
old and probably much longer than that showing my age, but I'd still take that Bethesda.
No, that's a flex. That's a flex. Honestly, thank you so much.
No problem.
Brilliant.
Oh yeah.
What's your name?
It's Bernard.
And what are you doing here at Adventurecon today?
So I'm selling my art and also getting a lot of feedback because I'm working on a story.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So tell me about that.
So the story is based on Irish mythological characters, but set more in the present day. And I've been working on it for a long time, and I'm still very early days.
That is up there on the...
That is a sneak peek at it, all right, yeah.
Okay, awesome. A story that may never be told.
Exactly.
Fantastic.
Slowly but surely.
Are you looking for people to support it, or
At the minute,
what are you hoping for by telling people that it's coming out?
well, so far I've kind of got what I needed here because I was just trying to suss out if there was interest first, and there is. So I'm happy with that.
Did you design all of these?
Yeah, I illustrated everything myself, and yeah, the dragons. The dragons are popular.
And what do you have any particular stories or movies or TV shows or anything in mind that inspired a lot of these?
Funny, not so much with the movies and TV shows because there's, as of yet, not many about Irish mythology. I was thinking it was more of a new take on it, but I suppose it's actually the myths themselves, like the book Anton. That's when I first got into it, and it was Louis Le Brocq, I think I'm pronouncing that wrong, but he used to have his art on display in the hospital. It was there for about a year or two when I was a student nurse a long time ago. So it was actually back then is where the mythology thing came to mind, and I think there's been a resurgence and a lot of people thinking along the same lines now. And yeah, also just being Irish, living in Ireland, going to stone circles and such like. Like the one in Freach is there's a cave in Roscommon, Oinagget. So that one was kind of inspired by that place, which Freach was supposed to be related to, the place of cats. So it's kind of a lot of the old myth, which is quite vague Irish mythology because a lot of it was lost. So it's writing the story, taking what we know and bringing a new story because we're Irish and we write stories.
I'd love to hear it. Like, what inspired the dragon up there on pier? I have to know.
Oh, it's fun. No, surprisingly, people don't ask what inspired it, but there's a couple of things.
I'd love to know because there's a person standing looking up and everything. I feel like there's a story here.
One of the things is I lived in Galway City for 22 years, and I'd visit there all the time. I'm not a good swimmer. That terrifies me. People are jumping in there the whole time. For me, it represents a bit of that fear of water. Other people see other things in it, which I like to hear other people's thoughts on it more than my own. But for me, it's on the back I have written the caption, not today, dragon, not today. So it means two things. It means for me, the fear of the water, but it's also that thing of threats coming in. I don't like to be a doomer, but there are a lot of hard things happening in the world at the moment, so it also represents that, and to be a bit fearless in the face of those things.
That's amazing.
The Long Walk dragon, I lived in the Long Walk for like 20 years, like literally under the eye of the dragon. But it's starting to pick up now. It's only fairly new release before Christmas. My favourite at the moment is Findabar. That one. Even though it's the most, it's not one that people are drawn to as much, but I like the loneliness vibe to it. I enjoyed drawing it more so. I think that's why, but it's not one of my most popular ones. Some of the ones, like I've done a lot of Irish mythological characters, and then of the modern ones, but also have drawn them. These are more in the costume of what would have close to what may have been worn back at the day, because we still don't know. And I take a little bit of artistic license, and those two are from the Connacht cycle, as I remember. It's been a while since I drew them. It's complex Irish mythology, and it's also, there's a lot of unknowns, but to the best of my knowledge that those are both from the Connacht cycle, so I thought I'll put them together. Oh, and that one, Fidelm, that you looked at, so she'd be a prophetess type poet, so I like to try and put little bits of symbolism. So the little squirrel is looking to jump, so the way I think of it is he's like that symbolism of being a prophet or prophetess is looking into the future, about to jump kind of thing.
Man, you do really good at making tarot cards. I don't know. I'm not messing with it. Like, there's a lot of symbolism in your work.
Yeah, I like symbolism. Cheers.
And I just see our Michael D, our Lord and Savior Michael D,
aye.
and I see the Star Wars as well. Like,
Yeah, no,
absolutely amazing.
I've met Michael D a few times, and I actually have to send it to him. I hadn't sent him a wee letter. It's been on my to-do list. I must do that sooner rather than later.
And what's the story with this one?
That one, the character is Beithuna, and it's a lesser-known character that a guy in Limerick University, I think, done an article about her, that she is the daughter of Cuchulainn, but there's not very much written about her. That she would have been away from Ireland for a lot, and that she's known to have heard of her father's death, and that's what brought her back to Ireland. Very little else outside of that. So I thought it's a good character for me to base stuff on.
If someone wants to buy any of these pieces from you, where can we go?
That's bernardmcglinchy.com, or so you can see it there. And it's BMGARTBOX. You'll find me on Instagram and Facebook, and no longer Twitter.
What's your next con?
I haven't thought that far ahead because I started a new job recently, and yeah, just so I'm not sure yet. Oh yeah, and at the minute. Some of the stuff is quite new, so it's limited availability online at the moment. It's the dragons and the Celtic wheels, but yeah, some more will be on the website within the next month.
I'm with MeepsGaming. We do board games, D&D stuff, Kickstarters, dice, the whole lot. So anything there, and all the accessories.
And why Adventurecon?
Why Adventurecon? Because actually I was in GaelCon last October, which was a lot of fun, and I ran into the guys here and they said, we have to have you, because apparently we were just having a lot of fun and all that, and we said we'd love to do it, and we're here now. Yeah.
And do you have what's your biggest selling game that you have?
Cluster. Yeah,
Is that
without a doubt.
somewhere?
It's over there. He's going to give it to you. Cluster.
Assistant Brian's going to show you Cluster.
Cluster. Biggest selling. Cluster is a magnet game.
Yeah.
And the idea is you have a rope, and inside you put all your magnets inside there, one at a time on a team. And the idea is to get rid of all your magnets. If you attract the magnet as you put yours in, you got to pick both up. And it gets very tense as the more magnets in within the circle, the harder it gets, the more tense it gets. And there's a lot of funny TikToks, YouTube videos about people playing this. I keep selling out of it, and I just get my allotments now. It's like Pokemon cards, for God's sake. So yeah, it's a great game, Cluster.
And do you have any other recommendations for ones as well?
The game we have out on the table is Dungeon Ball. This is the game that started it all. This is what started MeepsGaming, because every time I played this in a public place, people were watching it and they thought it was great crack. But it was only in a 2019 Kickstarter, and it wasn't available anywhere in Ireland except if you had done it on the Kickstarter. So after a while of being asked about it, I contacted the guy involved with it. I knew him from buying other products belonging to him, and I said, "Do you have any Dungeon Ball?" He says, "Well, I have a few left. Yeah, I can sell them. Yeah." And says, "Look, send me 30." And one game turned into, we're now nearly 200.
Wow.
So yeah, in 6 months.
That's incredible.
It worked. Yeah, I could have just played games. This is what I keep saying to people. I could have just played games, but I had to ruin it. Yeah. But doing this is a whole lot of fun. You are literally selling joy to people. Yes. They're coming up, they're buying dice. The pick and mix dice is my best selling product, full stop. Where they go through, they pick one of each, they get a little bag, $7.50 for the shot. But you're literally selling fun to people, and they're always in a great humour when they come to you. And that's just brilliant to see them walk away with that little, "Oh, I got it." It's just fun.
And if someone who's come here today, who's not even into Dungeons & Dragons, let's say, or not into games or whatever, but wants to get into a game, is there a game that you could recommend to someone that would be easy to get into or to bring to their mates on a night out kind of thing?
Stuff like Hard to Get. It's kind of like a family thing, and you work in it as a team. There's one person who is trying to get you to get rid of all the cards but one. And he only has certain clues. So he might draw a card in one. You have 5 rounds, and at the end of 5 rounds, you have to have only one card left. But he draws a card and every round, and he has to go, is what I want you to be more Miss Piggy or Kermit? Or in one round, he might go, is it more onion or apple? So it's abstract. God damn, how is chopsticks more apple or more onion? You don't know. So you have to get to the end, and at the end of each round, they take as many away as they want, and they go, okay, we're done. And he has to declare whether they have taken away the one that should be there at the end. And if they have, the game is over, they've lost. If it isn't, they can continue to the next round. He gives them another cue. And it has to be, you have to think outside the box as to what he might mean, because he doesn't get all the clues he would like to give you.
Oh, absolutely.
A lot of fun.
Like a real brain teasing type.
Yeah. So that gets you into very simple mechanisms, and then you have other stuff like, as I say, Dungeon Ball, and just, I suppose, you can work your way up to something like Arc Nova, which is the 3rd highest rated game in the world. And then you just have ones that teach you how to play as you go.
What is Arc?
Arc Nova is essentially just a big game about animals and building an ark and getting them on there, stuff like that. So yeah, it's a very popular game. Yeah.
And my last question to you: if someone sees one of the games in this video and they want to buy one, how do you? Is it just conventions you go to, or do you have an online store? Do you have an actual shop somewhere? Yeah,
I do all the conventions at the moment. I will be at some stage, I guess, looking for a store, but I am online at MeepsGaming.com. You can go on there, and all the stock I have here is available there. As I say, nearly 200 products at this rate.
And do you have a social media like Instagram, Facebook?
Yeah,
Twitter,
if you look up MeepsGaming in Instagram, Facebook, all that kind of crack, you can do that. If you email me at meeps@meepsgaming and ask for any of that information, I can give it to you that way.
Thank you very much. So that was Adventurecon. I really enjoyed it. I got talking, as you see, to like Dungeons and Naggins, Hearth, Tales, MeepsGaming, WindmillWolf, and of course then there was Leathercraft as well. And then of course Blaze, absolutely incredible job of explaining what the con is and the people, and giving credit where credit is due. absolutely amazing con. Can't believe it's all volunteer based and all for Athenry Youth Club, it was just an incredible con. I loved it. I got to play some games with some people there as well, and honestly lads, I just genuinely can't wait to go back to the next one. If there is any cons or events coming up over the next while, do let me know and I'll do my best to try and get there, interview as many people as I can, and then you'll see it in the next video. So guys, thanks a million. My name has been Aileen the Irish Panda Queen, and this has been Adventurecon 2025. I'll see you in the next video. Go on, good luck.